Hello, YouTube. HTJ here, and as usual, I hope y'all are happy, healthy, and doing well. Today's upload Predator Badlands comment response. Before we get there, I'd like to say I am seeing a little bit of reviews trickling through and dabbling into what they have to say. For the most part, I don't see many spoilers out there, and the overwhelming response for this film seems to be positive. Two things I'd like to say about that. Number one, I'm not diving too deep into the articles or the content being made because I just don't really want to know that much about the film. So to be fair, I haven't watched much content or read in depth about what these people are saying of the film. Ignorance is bliss, so they say. But it's always a but, right? What I have seen from these early interviews, and this is just my feeling, the energy's not great. It seems to be ho hum to me. All right, there you go. That's my opinion on that. Let's move into this comment. Let's give a shout out to Eric Max001. He left a comment under the first video for Predator Badlands, and it was a thoughtful comment. It actually, he made several good points. So I thought, I started to reply and I thought, man, this is going to take a long time. It's going to be a bunch of paragraphs. So let me just address it here with the community. Uh, I'm not going to go into every point because I've kind of already made my case on that. But to be fair to him, his first point was, I did say I wouldn't like Prey. I saw it. I loved it. I was wrong. Trachtenberg did that film, and he did Predator Badlands. So, why wouldn't you like it? Give him a chance. Now, this is a totally valid point. That I agree on face value, right? But as I read the comment, I'm thinking about it. It hit me. There's a reason I have all these red flags for Predator Badlands. Okay, there's a reason I don't feel good about it, and here we go. Simply to address the point, I do think Dan Trachtenberg, if I'm saying that correct, Trachtenberg, um, is a fine director. I think he did a great job on Prey. I was totally wrong about that film. However, I don't believe this is going to be Dan Trachtenberg's film. Let me elaborate. Okay, Prey, in my opinion, was a throwaway film. Disney, they hired a director that had never done a film before, never directed a film. Okay, and I think just my instinct here, they said, yeah, go do it. We don't care. To Disney's credit, they gave him, the cast and crew, enough money in budget to make what I consider a good movie. So give them credit for that. However, I still get the feeling that Disney didn't care. They thought, oh, well, we own the Alien IP. We own the Predator IP. We got to do something. We got to put something out there, or else the fans will grow restless. So they were hands off. Boom. Dan did a great job. Why do I think this is not going to be Dan's movie? Okay, couple reasons. There was no advertisement for Prey, or at least not that much, as I recall. And most of it that I saw was on Hulu itself. Let's remember that Prey went straight to streaming service, and not even to Disney Plus, but to Hulu, which, as we now know, Hulu is going to be dissolved. All that content will be moved to Disney Plus. So again, when you don't market heavily for a film, that cuts your budget in half. Budget in half, I believe. The rule of thumb here that they say for Hollywood is, especially with big budget movies, whatever the budget is, you have to double that for the advertising, right? So, in my opinion, they didn't spend a lot of money on the advertisement for Prey outside of Hulu. It didn't cost them anything to advertise it on Hulu. So, Disney had success with that film. And surprise to them, surprise to me as well, it was a good film. It was well received, okay? So they thought, okay, this is great. And it springboarded them to Alien Romulus and Alien Earth, which, again, I believe they're just huge piles of stinking trash, and I can't wait to address those travesties. Different story. Disney had their hands all over Romulus and all over Alien Earth, and it's clear as day. The budget for the film and the series alike was massive, many, 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 many more times than Prey. They advertised much, much, much harder for Romulus and for Alien Earth, excuse me. Again, increasing the budget on those projects. Stay with me here. I'm sure that Prey, or excuse me, PDL, Predator Badlands, they have spent an exorbitant amount of money on this film. I think they put way more of a budget on this film. For one, all of the special effects and green screening and CGI that they had to pay for, had to render to put in this film is massive. And it, judging by the previews, it's that's the biggest part probably of the film is all CGI. There's probably very little live action acting going on there. I'm sure the Predator is in a suit and you have the cyborg and even some other, it looks like human type things running around there in one of those trailers. But this is, mostly green screen, I would bet. I don't know how much of the movie, but a lot. And that cost more money. So there you go. The budget's higher. The advertisement for PDL. I don't often watch football. Okay. I love the sport of football. I just don't, for reasons. And we're not going to get into that. However, recently I have been watching some with my uncle. And to my surprise, Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, many ads, multiple times. PDL trailers. Hey, come see Predator Badlands, November 7th. Not only are they spending a lot of money on televised advertisement or network television advertisement, which is expensive enough, but they're spending that on Sunday night and Monday Night Football, which are some of the most expensive prime time advertisement spaces to buy in network television in the TV industry, I guess. So they are spending massive amounts on this budget. Now, we all know what Disney's done the last decade, okay? They have just, everything they put their hands on has just been bad. And they beat us over the head with what, listen, totally different. I'm not going to go there. It's clear to me Disney has spent much, much, much more money on PDL than they did Prey. And they're not going to leave that to Dan Trachtenberg. If he wrote the script, I guarantee you they revised it. If they didn't hand him the script, you see, Dan is under contract. And now that they think they have, a good chance to make a lot of money, well, they're not taking any chances. And they want their hands all over it. They want to ensure that it's done the way they want. So this is no longer like, hey, go make your movie. This is now you make the movie we want you to make. Guarantee it. And we all know what Disney has done to every IP it has touched. That's it. I've already rambled on too much, but I just wanted to address that. Again, big shout out to Eric Mac 001 for the comment. I love the interaction with the community. So if you have any questions, good, bad, or indifferent, you can go ahead and place them down below. Would love to discuss it in the comments section. And if you have made it thus far, I thank you. It is greatly appreciated to the channel. I guess we can wrap a little bow on this one now. Be good. Be safe. Boom.